Hey everybody, it's Mike Guillaume from Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast. I am doing a test run for the live commentary here for Toronto FC and New York City FC. We're getting started very, very shortly. Pre-game, the announcers are doing their pre-game stuff, and I'm sitting here hanging out with my daughter, ready to watch some TFC. Thanks for joining us in this big game, Toronto FC's home opener. It does not get any better than this. A beautiful day in March. The birds have decided to start going nuts while I'm recording, because that's what they do. Let me see if I can find this live stream here on YouTube to see if it's working. And of course, not there. Where is the sports streams? Live now, sports. We got some racquetball on live sports. See, this is why I'm just doing a test run, though. Because if I was doing this for real, you're right. I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah, and then you'd have to take much more time editing this all out.
Right. Well, you can't. It's live. You don't edit.
Oh, shoot, so you can't edit.
Right.
Probably lose subscribers.
Well, right, you would lose subscribers. That's why I got to make sure everything's working right and good, and then I can...
And I can find the right people.
But my bird friends there,
You guys.
we got to figure something out for them.
It's okay. Maybe they'll like the beautiful music.
Yeah.
And I feel evil just covering them.
Oh, there it is. All right. I found it.
Can you see it?
See it? Well, it takes a minute. It's behind by a little bit because it's got all the internet. All right, so starting 11 for New York City. They're going with a full-strength squad here with Tigres coming to town in just 3 days. Haber up front, Matrita, Morales, Medina in the mid, Parks and Ring in the back, two midfielders. Matrita, Callan, Sands, and Tinnerholm with Sean Johnson in goal. Ronnie Dahlia, the head coach for New York City, in a 4-2-3-1. That's pretty surprising that they're going as all out as they are. They got Tigres on Wednesday night. Tigres is a damn good team from Liga MX. I would be really, really surprised to see, all these starters. So now for Toronto FC, they play in a 4-4-2. We've got Josie Altidore and the new rookie Achara up top in the midfield. Delgado, Osorio, Pozuelo, and Gallardo. I'm glad to see Gallardo get the start on the right back, or on the right side. Justin Morrow, Chris Mavinga, Omar Gonzalez, Auro along the back line with Westberg in goal, and the head coach is Greg Vanny. All right, we've got a couple people watching here. Thanks for jumping up on the stream. Just so you guys are aware, this is a test stream for Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast. I am Mike. I am one of the hosts of Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast, and I will be doing live commentary starting next week after this test run. Just try, so if you see any glitches, that's why, because I really have no idea what I'm doing here. I know how to talk about soccer. I know how to watch soccer. But I do not know how to use this OBS stuff, and I'm learning. So, enjoy. Three. All right, well, the Yes graphics are still showing the Toronto FC lineup up top here, which is very surprising to see the lineup be talked about this much. I went through it, and it's still. Oh, there it goes. All right, now they show a nice look at the BMO field and now the Toronto skyline. Beautiful city. I miss that place. So we're still just a couple minutes away from kickoff, everybody. Probably looking at about maybe another 3 or 4 minutes till kickoff. What is going on out there? If you are on, say hi. And if there's anything that you have questions about in anything MLS, let me know. I will get the answer for you. Now I'm going to turn my stream off here so that I don't hear myself talking all the time. Sorry for the birds in the background as well. This is another test feature, so we'll be getting rid of the birds next week for the live. As my daughter says, they're beautiful. Well, yes, they are beautiful, Bella, but they're loud and annoying when I'm trying to do a live commentary on YouTube. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to see how the microphone is.
You go whisper in it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the birds.
I got it. How about now? Oh, that's much better. Much, much better. All right. Let me get my link here, my scoreboard ready. Do me a favor. Can you fill this up and put 3 ice cubes in it, please? Tell Mama I'd asked you to. Thanks. Well, my picks and predictions have gone to shit. All right, so around the league today, the first game was New England and Chicago Fire. This one ended in a 1-1 draw. Real Salt Lake also hosting Red Bulls of New York. That ended in a 1-1 draw. Dallas hosts Montreal. That ended in a 2-2 draw. Lots of draws here. And Inter Miami is up on DC United at Audi Field, 1-0 in the 56th minute. And it looks like we are getting ready to kick off here in Toronto. Beautiful, beautiful night. Looks almost exactly the same picture on the TV as what we've got behind me here as my backdrop. So, looks like the supporters are showing up a little weak here. That not a full house of supporters, which is surprising. New York City getting ready to kick off. Toronto FC is in their new white Unity kits, and New York City FC is in their blue, dark blue, brand new kits with the 3 stripes as well. So we are underway. Kickoff. Hebert kicked it back, and now Toronto FC letting this go out by the end line. Mavinga shuffles the ball over to Quentin Westberg. And now, apparently they showed a old shot of the supporters section that was half empty. Of course, that would be the New York station that I'm watching on MLS, ESPN Plus. Now it's full. Supporters section is full. I was kind of surprised that it was so empty, but now it is full. Now Toronto FC here with the ball. Passes up to Erickson Gallardo, number 9 in white for Toronto FC. Looks like Toronto is just kind of playing a little bit of passing back and forth here, trying to build up a little bit of possession. Justin Morrow on the left back went to make a run, passed it up to Achara. New York City intercepts. Justin Morrow doing some great work in there. There's three TFC players and 3 New York City players all just beating each other up trying to get the ball. And New York City comes out with it, but there's a handball on Alexander Ring to give TFC the free kick. Looks like we got, is that Ted Uncle, the referee for the TFC New York City matchup today? It might be. If you remember Ted Uncle, it is Ted Uncle. He was the referee for the TFC New York City matchup back in 2016 when Sebastian Giovinco got the hat trick for Toronto FC. And at that time, it was, I think there was 2 penalties for each team in that game. You don't see that every day, that is for sure. New York City coming down the left flank here. Looks like it's Matritu. He is passing it, still holding. Drops it back to Maxi Morales. TFC with the interception. Achara with a nice little overhead chip to get it up to Osorio, who drops it back to Delgado. Interception by Tinnerholm. He passes up to Morales, who does some dancing around. And he still continues to dance in the middle of the field. Toronto not letting him have any space. He tries to throw a shot on goal. Westberg is there for the easy save. But that would be the first shot on goal of the day for New York City. I need to see these lineups here so that I can keep track of the New York players. I'm pretty versed on the TFC players. However, the New York City guys, not as much. Maxi Morales in the midfield goes back all the way to the keeper, Sean Johnson. Hey guys, come say hi. We're live.
Right
Oh, you're getting your hair done? This is Sarah, everybody. It's my daughter, Sarah.
Second one. I'm the beautiful first one. No.
She's the third one. Julie, the second one, is getting her hair done so that she can go to church with Nana and go to game night at the VFW.
But guess who's bad child over here?
Who's the bad child?
Number 1. Subscribe to Daddy.
That's right. Subscribe to Sons of a Pitch, an American soccer podcast. And this is Julie Francis.
Like the video.
And that's Bella.
And
I don't know which way.
leave a comment
That
on what your favorite ice cream is.
You can tell they watch way too much YouTube.
Yeah. Or no. Comment down what your
Now, if you can see here, but my green screen is really messing up, and the Sons of a Pitch soccer logo is going through the green screen. It's probably the black shirts that I've got going on here. But all right, girls.
Dad wants 20,000 subscribers.
That's right.
20 billion.
20 billion. You got it. I'll be the first one with 20 billion subscribers. Too bad there's not 20 billion people in this world. Anyways.
Just try. Everybody who's watching this, subscribe. Subscribe now. And subscribe to Mike Guillaume so you can watch me cringe. Or else nothing will happen. Or else we're out to go on a date night.
Your bed because or else this will be in your bed because
Girls, enjoy this because you won't be able to do this next week.
Why?
Because next week I'll be doing this for real on Sons of a Pitch site.
Wait, can you upload this one?
It'll be on Mike Guillaume at gmail.com. All right, we got another viewer on. We're doing a test run here of the TFC game. This is Sons of a Pitch, an American soccer podcast. Go check us out. We'll be running live next week, and the kids won't be here. This will be more of and the birds will be shut up as well. Here's Achara, passes it over to Jonathan Osorio with a great pass out wide, and Auro continues to run down the flank, and Matarrita cuts it off. If Auro would have stayed there or went to get the ball, he would have had it. But bad move there by Auro. But TFC holding pretty good possession here for the first 5 minutes of the game.
Bye, everybody. Everybody subscribe.
Are you going to church? No? Staying home?
You see me?
Why would you not go to church? And get you out of the trouble you're in.
I'm going tomorrow.
Hmm.
I have to alter some.
I don't know.
I always go tomorrow.
All right, Callan's down on the ground there.
Crying. A little bit.
All right, I need to adjust this laptop up. Callan's still down. My little head down on the bottom of the screen.
Camera issues.
Oh, I need this to come forward. That's better. That way, when I'm looking up at the, this TV to see what's going on, it doesn't look like I was like looking like way up, you know, before. You think I should move the scoreboard to the top?
Yeah, so you can see our marks better.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and keep the subscribe at the top too.
Like this?
I should take that back. Bring the subscribe to the...
Down?
Yeah.
Yeah, to that corner. Okay.
The birds are so loud.
Do me a favor, take this up there and see if you can hear the birds. Upstairs. Oh yeah, you can hear it all day.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. You don't have to take it upstairs now.
They were quiet.
What?
You made a video 4 months ago. It has 11 views.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
it is. Now look at my views.
Huh?
But now look at my views.
There are like 500.
Where do you want this? Guys, is Nana here yet? Nope. What time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
All right.
George, shut your animals up. Alright. Birds, shut up.
Subscribe now. Please subscribe. Peace. Subscribe. Peace.
Oh, Sario! And the rookie Achara with his first goal in his first game. What a start for TFC.
Go TFC.
Go.
Unbelievable.
TFC.
TFC. TFC. TFC. And the assist by Osorio.
TFC.
Quiet down.
Is he good?
He is. He's a rookie.
He's a rookie.
Look at this slinky. Oh, I'm turning invisible.
Oh, wait, they're looking at it on VAR. Is VAR going to take away the kid's first goal ever? Of course they're looking at it in VAR. So for the few of you that are watching here, they're looking to see if he was offside, and it looks to me that he was offside. So my camera here is right in front of the TV a little bit for the large view, but it looks like he was slightly offside. I think they're going to take a look at this, and there goes Ted Uncle to the screen. He is going to look at it, and unfortunately the rookie's first goal is going to get called back. At least it should get called back, unless that was a horrible angle, but it looked completely offside to me.
If that was his first goal ever, I would not take it off.
It doesn't matter if it's his first goal ever. If it was offside, it's offside. But if looking, depending on the angle, yeah, he's off. And here comes Uncle's decision after VAR. Offside. No goal.
I'm turning invisible, Daddy. Look it, I'm invisible.
Yeah, you are.
I feel bad.
Look at you. It's because of the green screen settings that I have to change. See it?
Yeah.
All right. Back underway. Sean Johnson kicks the ball over to his defender, and now he's just standing there with the ball. Standing there a little bit longer. Now he runs it off to the left-hand side. New York City starts coming up the field. Tinnerholm with a nice pass. Intercepted, though. Westberg played back to Westberg. He is now in trouble with Hebert doing a nice forecheck on him. Justin Morrow kind of trapped in the corner. New York comes out with possession. Keaton Parks with a nice little move at the top corner of the box. All right, go over with Bell, please. Thank you. All right, so we're in the 14th minute. TFC and New York City 0-0. Toronto FC had a goal wiped away by VAR. New York City playing it at the back. Callan's back pass to Sean Johnson. Alejandro Pozuelo putting lots of pressure on the New York defender with the ball. Causes an errant pass with the turnover. All right. Not much action going on here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pretty dead game other than that VAR turnaround call. Achara here with the ball running in, and Tinnerholm with some good defense. He is kind of playing in the way I think it would be out of position a little bit. He seems to be ahead of the back line, which is surprising for him. Usually he's right there along the outside back, kind of playing that outside back, but he seems to be playing very forward in this game. Toronto FC back with possession. We've got Auro with the ball right now. Drops it off to Pozuelo. Pozuelo with a pretty little back heel back to Auro. Auro over to Osorio. Goes back out to Auro. Back to Pozuelo. They're just playing a little bit of ticky-tack right now with these quick back-and-forth passes. Not much action. They moved about the ball a total of about like 10 feet forward with about 12 or 13 passes. And then they try to go into Josie Altidore, who has 3 blue shirts around him. You don't have to crawl, guys. This is just a test. You guys won't be down here next week.
Okay. Promise that.
Really, Francis? Keep walking.
Mama fell asleep.
Who's going to fall asleep?
Mama did.
Oh, she did? Figured she would.
Does that mean I'm not in my punishment?
No. Tinnerholm back to number 16. Who is number 16 on NYCFC? I'm going to have to check that out. Oh, that's James Sands, center back, one of our breakout players on our New York City team preview. Maxi Morales kicks the ball over to the left-hand side, but Matarrita made the cut inside run, and now they're yelling at each other like, whose fault was it? Not mine. It was your fault, not mine. But Toronto FC ball. Alro getting ready with the throw-in. New York City on yes. Their little graphic has lost to Toronto FC 2-1 in the 2019 Eastern Conference Final, which was the last time these two teams met up. When New York City was their first, the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, and did not bode well for them, as they have always had troubles in the playoffs. That game was played at Citi Field. This poor team, they play in a sandbox at Yankee Stadium. It's the size, the pitch is like half the size of a regular pitch. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but still, it's tiny. Then they get booted out of Yankee Stadium around playoff time. They have to play at Citi Field if the Mets aren't in the playoffs. This year in the CONCACAF Champions League, they're playing their home games at Red Bull Arena, their fiercest rival. That's like, for Toronto FC fans that are watching, that's like TFC having to play their CCL home games at Stade Saputo in Montreal. Nah, that would not happen. So New York City's got to get it figured out in the stadium front. There is some rumblings now that they might get something done, but until I see some renderings and almost guarantees, I'm not buying it. Here's Jesus Medina and Justin Morrow fighting for the ball. Goes out of bounds. Toronto FC throw. However, New York City with an interception, and looks like Keaton Parks with the interception runs right past Mavinga and goes in on goal to get it. Just a beautiful save by Quentin Westberg. He had the entire net and just put it right at the keeper for a nice save there by Westberg. So Westberg seems to be on his game today. Keaton Parks is looking pretty sharp there with his movement off the ball as well. Another little back heel there by Hebert. And this is it's interesting. It was all TFC for about probably the first 15 minutes, and now it is all New York City FC. It's kind of turned around for them. They are right there, just getting some good movement off of the ball and good passing as well. So Callens and Sands playing some back and forth at the back line. Gets it up the middle there to Matrita. Matrita over to Parks. Parks past Tinnerholm, who has been playing on the left, and he goes to make a slick little move in the box, and on the right, and goes to make a smooth little move in the box and back heels the ball out of bounds. As they show the replay of the great save by Quentin Westberg. All right, 21st minute. Toronto FC getting a little bit more possession now. Jonathan Osorio down the flank to Auro. Not quite sure what the hell he was doing there, but he went to kick the ball. Actually, it's Gallardo. Gallardo and Auro both have the shaved along the sides, and the top is this big floppy, like brown to blonde thing, and literally the exact same haircut for both the right mid and the right back. So now I have no friggin' idea who that is, if it's Gallardo or Auro. But Pozuelo here with the ball, kicks back to Chris Mavinga along the back line. Mavinga starts stepping forward to make this huge surging run, and gets a foul in very dangerous territory. And Ring gets a yellow card. That is a very, very weak yellow card for Ring. I don't think. I mean, that's a foul, maybe, but as far as a yellow, no way, not a chance. Problem was Ring didn't play the ball. He had a chance to play the ball. That's why it's a yellow. He slid into it. He could have cleared the ball out, but he just kind of stayed sliding and didn't go to clear the ball. And Mavinga kind of touched it with his left foot to the side, and that's what caused the foul and the free kick. And then in the yellow card as well. So Pozuelo stands out. It's probably about I'd say about 28 to 30 yards out, so it might be a little too far out for Pozuelo. This is not Sebastian Giovinco. Giovinco, this would have been fully in his play, but it is not him, unfortunately. So Alejandro Pozuelo with the shot here, free kick. Will they bring some guys up from the back? Looks like they will. Omar Gonzalez is up. Ted Uncle has to have a talk with the players who are pushing back and forth. I got to say, I really like these new white Unity kits for TFC. Definitely a strong contrast there. And Pozuelo chips it, and that I think was supposed to be a pass, but nobody ran for it, and goes right into the arms of Sean Johnson. So no harm there off of Alexander Ring's foul and yellow card other than that caution. So the D-mid for New York City FC is going to have to play with a little bit more caution now here for the rest of this game. And only 23 minutes in, that can bode well for Toronto FC. So thanks for joining us, everybody. My name is Mike. I am a host of Sons of a Pitch Soccer podcast. I am doing some live commentary testing. So got all this new awesome stuff here. Green screen, so we can do actually blue because I got green on my awesome t-shirt here. If you want to check out our awesome merchandise, sonsofapitch.redbubble.com. And make sure that you go check out Sons of a Pitch Soccer podcast for all kinds of picks, predictions, team preview videos for this season. Did one for every single team, as well as a league team preview. Check it out, that new Predict 6 game. We're doing some a league there and doing a show every week for that as well. New York City now in control. They've got some possession there. Maxi Morales is just kind of floating around about 10 yards past the halfway mark. Matrita with a nice pass. Tinnerholm has been extremely active and extremely high. So it'd be interesting to see if TFC can catch New York. It could be trouble for them because he's playing really, really high. I mean, he's playing kind of more of as a forward, not even as a mid, which is really surprising because Medina, he's decent, but he really can't track back much. Here's Pozuelo with a turn, lots of space in the midfield. Tinnerholm was back, however, and they play a little bit of defense, get it through there, and Ring, who's been stepping back since that yellow card, he's been playing a little bit further back. He gets the clearance out for New York City. Oh, look at this. We have some chat going on here. Sorry about that. I totally missed that. Show the TV. Yeah, I'm not showing the TV because that will that breaks the violations there. And I did that during the USA-Canada game back in October, and we got blocked for 90 days. So if you want to hear what's going on in the game, then watch. If you're looking for an actual stream of the game, this is not your place. Check out the illegal streams there for that. Let's see. All right, we've got Acid XXYONG. I don't have Yes Network anymore, so I'm going to watch this stream. Acid, I appreciate the stream. Hey, no problem, Acid. Thanks for joining us. Check out our Sons of a Pitch Soccer page. That is Sons of a Pitch Soccer, an American soccer podcast on YouTube. And you will see my beautiful face doing picks and predictions videos and podcast episodes and everything like that. And the live commentaries will be going over there next week. when we get rid of these birds down here in my basement, and the kids won't be running around in the background. So thanks for joining, and make sure to look for a game of the week next week as well. Don't know which game it'll be yet, but we'll be doing one of those games. So Pozuelo here, he's got the ball in a threatening position for Toronto FC. And then it looks like it could be a little bit of a foul. Ted Uncle plays advantage. Justin Morrow jumps up in the attack. Oh, penalty. Oh, no, he doesn't call it. Wow. That was a really close to a penalty kick there for Toronto FC, and especially Uncle, who likes to call penalties, at least to a game. But really looked like that one should have been a penalty, in my opinion. But he does not call it. And Achara now watches the ball go out of play over on the touchline and gets ready to throw the ball in. So Uncle plays the let's Pozuelo's play go through. Justin Morrow swings it past Sands. Sands has his leg out, his knee out, and in a very awkward position, and they're going to VAR. Interesting. It really looked like a penalty, in my opinion. And now here we go. Ted Uncle, for the second time in 28 minutes, is going over to the video review board to see if this should be a penalty. I would be very, very surprised, especially after seeing that replay. It looked like a penalty in live. It looked almost guaranteed like a penalty as a instant replay, which is you watch James Sands, he completely sticks his leg out. Morrow goes off to the left and goes down. Clear penalty. So any minute now, Ted Uncle should be coming out from that screen to announce a penalty kick. And TFC might be able to get that goal in where they didn't. Unfortunately, they didn't get that goal that was called back on the offside. But the offside was a correct call. They just keep on showing replays. And, I mean, I can't even see why this is taking so long. It's just clear as day a penalty. Oh, and he's calling a throw-in! Oh, my God! Okay. How? This is insanity. This is absolute insanity. I'm speechless right now. Watch the replay on that one, and you'll be able to see that is just a penalty, clear as day. So VAR kind of bit Toronto in the first VAR of the day, and now it kind of bites him again, because even though they did go take a look at it, kind of bites him again by not getting it. There must be something that I'm missing there, whether that's maybe it was a little bit of simulation, but I didn't see any simulation. I see James Sands stick his left knee out and swing at the ball, miss the ball, and kick Morrow in the shins. So really interesting there. Now Chris Mavinga is down on the sideline. I don't know if this is no, it is contact. Goes up for a header with Hebert, and Hebert undercuts him and just lets the ball go over his head and just undercuts the hell out of Mavinga. And Mavinga takes a big tumble down. So Mavinga is down, 30th minute, and Hebert is wondering why he's on the ground, apparently. So I would love to hear what the commentary is on this. Unfortunately, our friends at YouTube will shut the stream down if they hear or see the TV screen. So I'd like to hear what these New York announcers are saying about that penalty, because that was just clear as day a penalty. But enough talk about that. Mavinga is up, and Uncle is looking around like he's not quite sure what the hell's going on in this game, and kicks back to Quentin Westberg, and Westberg is just taking his sweet old time getting ready to put the ball back into play to Toronto FC. So Mavinga's back on the field. At least that's the motion by Ted Uncle. Westberg still sitting there with the ball. Hebert decides to run at him, and Westberg picks it up. A couple moments of brilliance in this one. If you're just joining the stream, you haven't been watching the game, you've got the first, it was about 15 minutes in, the rookie Achara for TFC got on the board, got his first ever goal but that goal was disallowed correctly by VAR. It was slightly offside. And then a few minutes after that, New York City had a great chance. Keaton Parks went blowing by Chris Mavinga, which usually doesn't happen very often, and put a shot on Westberg, forcing a good save out of him. And then just recently, there was a nice play by Toronto, build-up play of Toronto FC in the box. Justin Morrow sidesteps James Sands, and no call on the field. VAR stops it at the next throw-in, and Uncle goes over and tells VAR to go to hell, and no penalty. So here we are in the 32nd minute. Jonathan Osorio with the ball here for TFC, who have held a pretty good portion of the possession. I'd say maybe, if I had to guess right now, I'd say probably 55-45. A foul here on Sands. Apparently that was a foul. I didn't see it. So if you're going to call a foul on Sands outside of the box, why didn't you call the one inside the box? Just so you guys, if you didn't know, I am a TFC fan. I am a diehard TFC fan. In fact, so much so, we've got the tattoo going on here. But I do run a soccer podcast, and it's about everything MLS, Sons of a Pitch, an American soccer podcast, and doing a test run for our live streaming and live commentary that will be breaking out next week. So I just thought I'd put this on my personal YouTube with a bunch of kid videos and give it a shot to see how this goes. And so far, it's looking like it's running pretty smooth. Quality's decent. We've got, the green screen working well. So all is good. All right, New York City with the ball in the midfield. Passes back to Sean Johnson. Johnson up to Ring. Ring out to Callens. Callens blasts a ball downfield, looking for Jesus Medina. Puts it right on his foot. Tinnerholm making the overlapping run, and he did not see him. Apparently, Achara for TFC comes out with the ball, and Medina kicks the ball out of bounds and jumps up like, why is that a throw-in for TFC? So we've got Chris Mavinga passes over to Omar Gonzalez. Omar Gonzalez up to Alejandro Pozuelo for Toronto FC. Pretty good game, pretty good matchup. I'm very surprised by the lineup in place for New York City, a full-strength 11. I'm guessing because it's the beginning of the season, they're not resting anybody for the game on Wednesday against Tigres. Tigres is having a down season in Liga MX this year, but still a very, very good team. There is a great ball. James Sands, the man has got to be on a card. He has had 2 or 3 fouls in the last 2 minutes, and now Uncle's calling him over. Another foul here just outside the box. There's the yellow for Sands. So New York City now with... they've got a center back and their central defensive midfielder on yellow cards. Just at the top of the box, Josie Altidore goes down. Great pass by Pozuelo. Altidore with his awesome hold-up play that we're all accustomed of. He ends up tapping the ball out to his left, and Sands has got a hand on the back, a hand on the waist, and kicks him in the shins, the calves, and he goes down in Josie Altidore fashion. So Sean Johnson setting up the wall, just free kick just outside the box. So this is definitely good for TFC if they can get it up and down. What can Pozuelo do with this? Looking at about 22 yards off the line there. So setting up the wall still. You got Alexander Ring, who's on a yellow card, just pushes him right in the back. And Pozuelo cannot get it up over the wall. So New York City clears it out to about the halfway mark. TFC with possession still. And a nice little ball there for Auro or Gallardo. Can't tell with that same hairdo. Pozuelo into the middle, and Tinnerholm gets out and clears it. And Matarrita comes back in to intercept that back pass. Osorio playing a little bit of keep-away ball. Marky Delgado gets pulled down. Josie Altidore grabs the ball, feeds it in for Achara. It will be a corner kick, I believe. Yes, it will be a corner as there was a deflection by James Sands. So we're 36 minutes in. TFC is knocking at the door. It's getting closer for TFC in this one. They've kind of taken over the play in the last few minutes. Pozuelo steps out to the corner with both hands up over his head. And here comes the corner kick. And cleared away easily by New York City. And it's a throw for New York City. All right. 37th minute. Anton Tinnerholm throws the ball right into TFC, who now keeps on with the possession. All right, Hebert, who's back playing defense. That's how much TFC has got control of this game until Omar Gonzalez decides to get up and play a little forward. And the three attacking New York City players get in some action. Now Medina, who's been having a rough play here, he decides to whine like he is not sure why there's a foul. Looks like we've got some action going on upstairs. I will be right back, and I'm glad this is a test. You got that, Bill? All right, I'm back. The oldest kid took care of it. So, TFC back with the ball in the attacking third. Alexander Ring with an interception. Medina, who is also almost at the touchline, gets the ball back. Hebert, Morales. These guys are all back. This is surprising. Keaton Parks. And who's the guy that's the furthest up the field? Anton Tinnerholm. New York City fans, if you're watching, let me know in the comments. Is this something that's pretty common for Tinnerholm to be kind of playing at that right back spot to be all the way up top? I mean, even when your striker is playing some defense, it's really weird to me. But in the meantime, a nice through ball played by Marky Delgado to Josie Altidore. He gets the turn on two NYC players, puts it right at Sean Johnson for the save. So Tinnerholm now with the throw as it went out of play. Still 0-0 here in the 39th minute. 40th minute. All right, back pass there to Quentin Westberg. And New York City with an interception. Now Achara flying down the flank. He cuts it in, deflected out. And here is Delgado. Back to Pozuelo. Pozuelo getting pushed on by Ring. Ring, who's got to be careful. He's already sitting on that yellow. You don't want to pick up a needless second yellow and put your team down a man. Looks like Medina gets his foot in there and gets it out for a TFC throw just at the top of the 18. And now it's Arrow here on the wing. Kicks it in. Now Gallardo with the ball. He goes to shoot. It's blocked. Pozuelo comes in, hits the crossbar. Josie with the rebound, and it's missed. This has been all TFC. So a good sign, but this is kind of like what TFC has done in, I would say, probably it was probably their biggest Achilles heel last season in the regular season, was they would just dominate games but could not finish. Vanny opts to go with the 2 up front with the rookie Achara and Altidore. And it's worked. This 4-4-2 formation has definitely worked for TFC in this game. They have had the just a lion's share of the possession. Here's Achara again down on the wing, sitting outside the penalty box. Now kicks it in as a cross, and it goes right to Josie Altidore. Altidore passes over to Gallardo, who shoots, and a great save by Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson has just been a man on a mission this afternoon. Lots of great saves. I got to pull the stats up here on my phone because he has been just tearing it up. He's been in all the right places at all the right times. Gallardo with a great shot deflected, and then boom, Pozuelo out at the top corner there goes and hits the crossbar / the corner of the crossbar and the post. So all TFC at the moment. Alro with the ball just past the halfway mark. Kicks it back to Omar Gonzalez and Justin Morrow. Morrow back to Quentin Westberg. Sean Johnson with 3 saves today, by the way. I think Quentin Westberg has had to have 1. So looks like we've got a result that is almost a final out in D.C. D.C. United has made the comeback over Inter Miami. It's 2-1 D.C., so that definitely helps out my picks and predictions, who are off to a really, really rough start this week. Check out Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast on YouTube. Check that channel out, and my picks and predictions every week for all the games, and it was looking like a pretty rough start there, but I did get DC, so that's exciting. Back to this game, Marky Delgado with the ball, still TFC with the ball, possession. Here's Osorio, New York City grabs it for a second, TFC takes it right back. Pozuelo with a nice cross into Altidore, and it looks like Sands is there for the clearance. Now Keaton Parks wanting to make a run. I think I can pretty much tell you that a great tackle by Jonathan Osorio in the midfield. Keaton Parks went down like a ton of bricks, and he's still laying there, but that was all ball by Jonathan Osorio. TFC puts the ball out of play because he's writhing in pain from that tackle from Osorio, which was actually a really, really good tackle there. So anyways, what I was saying was that New York City is looking like a pretty dangerous team in the small confines of Yankee Stadium. They're very compact, and I think that's just they're so used to playing that way that it doesn't really translate onto a regular size field, but it does do well at Yankee Stadium because it's from seeing the way they're countering as well is top notch. So interesting notes here in this one. Looks like what's his name? The guy that just went down, Keaton Parks. He's back up, kind of sitting up, and he's shaking his head, wondering why that wasn't a foul. Same with Ronnie Dahlia. Jonathan Osorio is wondering what's going on, what's taking so long. So in this one, 44th minute, looks like we're almost at halftime here. I would expect a fair amount of stoppage time because with the 2 checks by VAR, the injury to Mavinga, now the injury to Keaton Parks, I expect probably about 3 minutes of stoppage time. If this was the second half, I'd probably say about 5 or 6. But because it's halftime, you never see more than like 3, max 4 in the first half. So let's see how that goes. And they play the ball. New York City plays the ball back to TFC in the sportsmanship type of way. And wow, okay, there you go, 6 minutes. So of course they have to prove me wrong right there and say no, we're gonna give 6 minutes. As I said, if it was the second half, I would have went with 6, but they're going with 6 anyway in the first half. So TFC here with the ball, a nice little chip out to the side for Auro. Auro back to Pozuelo, who missed it, goes to Osorio, back to Pozuelo with a nice little chip in to the box. And now a crossing into Josie Altidore gets intercepted. And looks like Gallardo here with the ball again. Justin Morrow playing in an interesting position. Ochara goes to take a shot from way outside the box, and another huge save by Sean Johnson. His 4th of the day. You have got to be kidding me. That was acrobatic. That ball was curling into the top corner of the net, and he makes just an unbelievable save to knock that one out for a TFC corner. So TFC is getting ready, they're getting set up. Pozuelo to take the corner kick, and let's see what happens here. Pozuelo out and gets cleared away easily by James Sands. Alro back to retrieve closer to half yard line there. Oh, Omar Gonzalez almost gets in, but they're calling a foul. 50-50 ball. They're always going to protect the keeper in that situation. 47th minute. We still got a ways to go here before halftime because of the 6 minutes of stoppage time. Where's Nora? Is she here? Oh, okay.
I have her on the phone.
Oh, you're going over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. All right, back in play. All right, let's see. Josie Altidore pushes down James Sands. They're both running for the ball, and looks like the foul is called on Josie Altidore, which is fair. Definitely a foul there. Back for the restart. New York City getting ready. They're kind of taking their time, just trying to get into halftime. Sean Johnson just standing there with the ball in his hand, walking it out almost about 15 yards outside of the 18. Just dying to get to halftime from what I can see with how much pressure TFC has had on New York over the last few minutes. Mavinga wins a header on the long kick. Josie Altidore with a nice little kick pass and waiting for a foul to get called. Finally, Uncle blows the whistle. There's a foul there. TFC will restart here shortly, I'm assuming. Nope, they're going to take their time, get a few guys set up into position. And, it was a throw-in, not a foul, excuse me. So Justin Morrow, the left back with the throw, he gets it in play and played right back out of bounds by Keaton Parks. Another throw in a little bit closer down the line. Josie Altidore with the ball. He passes back to Ochara. Ochara gets intercepted on his pass and a free kick given to New York City FC. 49th minute, still have about 3 minutes till halftime. So those of you who have joined us, make sure to what's this? Donnie Smith. Yeah, he wants to lose his channel because you're too cheap for cable TV, bruh. Okay, I don't get it. That's not what I'm trying to do. Not trying to be a TV commentator here. So, anyways, back into play. New York City with a little bit of possession. Toronto FC now intercepts with the header, and Altidore plays over to Pozuelo, and Alexander Ring calms that down and plays the ball out wide for a little bit of possession for New York City. Now they're just standing back there with the ball, kicking it back between the two center backs, Callens and Sands, just taking their sweet old time trying to kill this game out to halftime, where Ronnie Delia can probably make some subs to rest a few of his guys for the Tigres matchup and probably figure out a way to switch up his formation to deal with Toronto FC's 4-4-2 formation, because they're having a lot of trouble with that. All right, Ring more kick around at the back, just trying to kill this out as best as they can, which who can blame them. Callens and Sands a little bit more back passing to each other along the back. There's nothing opening up for New York City at all to get the ball forward, and I don't think they're in any rush to. Morales drops back into that pack, though, and Ring takes it and shoots it up to Medina, goes past him all the way to Quentin Westberg pretty innocently. All right, 51st minute, about to blow the whistle. Ted Uncle, I'm sure, It's been a very lackluster few minutes here because of New York City just trying to kill the ball out. And the fans have definitely left to get their snacks and try and beat the Lions because it is emptied out. And you just see them all streaming to get down there with the way this game has gone. With New York City killing this out. Medina back to Sands. Sands just stands with the ball. And Ted Uncle finally puts New York City out of their misery in this first half. And it is halftime. All right, halftime for the 5 of you that are watching with me. Just make sure to hang tight here. I'll be back in about 15 minutes. And we'll be going. I got to go take care of some stuff, get a refill on the drink, and whatnot. Nope, be back in about 10 to do some reading off some stats. All right, it is halftime, and I am back. Made myself a cup of coffee for the second half. Let's talk a little bit about that first half. Toronto FC and New York City 0-0 at the half. Should be more than that, in my opinion. Toronto FC definitely with a stronger first half than New York City. New York has 2 yellow cards as we speak. Central defensive midfielder Alex Ring has a yellow, as well as center back James Sands. About 15 minutes in, Achara, the rookie from Toronto FC, making his debut, who had a great preseason, scored 3 goals in 3 games. He ends up getting a goal, but was rightly overturned by VAR. He was slightly offside, so that was the right call on that one. A few minutes after that, Toronto FC gets kind of a break, almost has a penalty kick. VAR ends up going, telling Uncle to take a look at it, and he goes and takes a look and decides it's not a penalty, which is surprising. So no penalty there for that one. And play continued. Alejandro Pozuelo ended up hitting the crossbar in the first half. So it's been all TFC. I think there was 1 chance for New York. Here are the stats from the first half. 8 shots to 2 for Toronto. 4 shots to 2 on target. So 2 saves needed by Westberg. Possession, possession was 53-47 for New York City. How? I'm not quite sure, because the game that I'm watching, TFC had much more of the possession. Passing accuracy slightly higher at 81% for Toronto, 80% for New York City. They've got 0 chances created for both teams. However, there were multiple chances in this one. So apparently it's still kind of like preseason for these MLSsoccer.com guys doing the stats, because they're a little off there. 3 corners for TFC to none for New York City. 5 fouls to 8. 8 for New York City, 2 offsides for TFC, 2 yellow cards for New York City, and of course, no reds. So that now you go into the advanced stats. Aerials won 53% to 47 for New York City, and long ball success rate for percentage was 64% for TFC, 35 for New York City. Getting ready to kick off in the second half. TFC with the kickoff. Josie Altidore and Alejandro Pozuelo standing over it, getting ready to rock here. So let me pull my my scoreboard up here before we get kicked off. And we are underway. Keaton Parks with the ball, a little bit up the field. Toronto gets there. Achara with some nice back play over to Jonathan Osorio, who leads it up to Marky Delgado, and TFC is back on the attack, creating a chance right off the get-go. Not really a chance, but at least a shot. Pozuelo puts it on net and makes an easy save for Sean Johnson. So, just about 30 seconds into the second half, and TFC with another shot on goal, picking up right where they left off in the first half. New York City here trying to play out of the back. And looks like they're doing so. Matarrita, passes up to Matarrita. And Auro now with the ball for TFC. Goes over to his own corner to kick up, and Matarrita blocks it. And apparently blocks the ball back off of Auro for New York City throw. So Matarrita, you'll remember him. He had that, gave up that penalty. That was a rough one there. Gave up that penalty in the playoff game to Pozuelo, buried for TFC to beat New York in the Eastern Conference semifinals in last season's playoffs. Looks like we got a couple chats here. Man, don't dance op. Bruh, it's so annoying. ESPN says it cannot show it in my region is the most stupid thing ever, and I live in New York. That is probably why, because Yes has the blackout. The blackouts up, so that happens to me. I actually live in Chicago, and any of the Chicago Fire games, well, before they signed the deal with ESPN Plus to be their preferred streamer. So 2 seasons ago, I could not watch Chicago Fire games. If I have a baseball package, I can't watch the Cubs or the Sox. But I'm a Toronto guy. I'm from Toronto, and those are all my teams. So Doesn't really bother me much, but yeah, that is really damn annoying. If you're a fan, you should be able to watch your team play regardless. So maybe we'll get, maybe if enough people complain to ESPN and complain to MLS, maybe we'll get it done. So here is Erickson Gallardo with the ball over on the right side, weaving through two different defenders, and the ball goes out off of him for a quick throw there for New York City. New York City doing a little bit of back passing there. Goalkeeper Sean Johnson now with the ball. He's right in front of the supporters section for TFC, the south end. And they blast it upfield to Morales with a beautiful little pass up to Matrita. Matrita back to Morales. Morales back to Matrita in the middle of the field to Hebert, who flies it out to the flank. And looks like they're trying to cut into the middle. Matrita blasts it into his own player, Hebert. TFC players trying to get a foul for the handball. Not going to happen. Instead, after a little bit of rumbles around, it is now TFC throw-in. So Keaton Parks has looked decent today. Some good runs through the middle of the field. He had that good run there, that good chance, probably the only chance they created to force a good save out of Westberg when he got through on goal past Mavinga. He's had a decent day for New York City. However, the rest of the team has not been so great. But they've got control of the ball here in the possession. Callens is back passing to Ring, who goes back to Callens, then up to Morales. Morales over by the line, getting pressured by Osorio. Throws it out to the middle for Matrita. They're giving him lots of space. Matrita blasts one, and it's going to go out off the deflection for a corner. So New York City with their first corner kick of the day. Off of Mavinga. It's looking like it's pretty cold up there in Toronto right now. It's dark, and they're on the East Coast, and looks nice and cold. Wind's blowing a bit. Medina with the corner, and actually now Matrita comes over to take the corner. And taking it extremely slow. You can tell this team is definitely taking its time. Medina now takes it. So that was a good way to waste 30 seconds to a minute. And here Matarrita comes sliding in. A header by Mavinga. Then Gonzalez gets ahead to it. Keaton Parks doing extremely well. Mavinga comes in to clean things up. Passes up to Gallardo. TFC is out and away on the counter. But the forwards were not running for the ball. So nothing there. All right. Callens passes back to Sands. Sands passes over to Tinnerholm. Tinnerholm floats it to the middle of the park to Maxi Morales, who does not have a white shirt around him, but Osorio comes in and takes that right away from him. Kicks it over to Quentin Westberg. Westberg now blasts it up the field towards Erickson Gallardo, who looked like it was played with a high boot, but they're calling it as a foul for the TFC guy who just headed the ball away from the high boot. So that's an interesting call there. All right, Sands kicks it up to Tinnerholm, misses it. And now TFC cleans things up here at the back. Auro passes back into the middle with some onrushing pressure there from Medina on Osorio. Osorio to Delgado. Delgado over to Auro. Back to the middle for Osorio. Osorio passes down to Gallardo, who's making a nice run. Centers the ball to Josie. He completely misses it, trying to play more of the man than the ball. And Auro He gets his pocket picked by Maxi Morales coming from behind him to take it. And then Morales blasts the ball up. Hebert had his man beat and turned around, but the ball goes out of bounds. So a little bit better here for New York City. They're starting to get a little bit more action so far. We've got a comment here. Motion Zahori. Who do you think is going to be man of the match? So far, in the 53rd minute where we stand right now with no goals, it has to be Sean Johnson for New York City. New York City would not be even in play right now for a point if it was not for his heroics at the back. So here is Josie Altidore. Comes up, he's through, he shoots and just misses off the post. Didn't hit the post, just about 3 feet wide of the post. Good chance there for TFC. Maybe they're going to start turning things around. But yeah, anyways, Sean Johnson's my man of the match so far where we stand right now. So good question. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more, action with the goals wise, and that might change the man of the match pick. Here is Matrita. He's coming through the flank, tries to get the ball into Hebert, and can't. Matarita goes for the header and completely misses. Ring with the back pass back to Sands. Sands goes out to Tinnerholm, back to the middle for Keaton Parks. And his long ball is intercepted by Auro, looking for Matrita. So New York really hasn't been able to get much going, and as I say that, Morales picks the pocket of Mavinga, and they're off on the counter. Matrita down the left, he cuts it back in the middle for Morales at the top of the box to Parks at the top of the box. He goes for a shot that's blocked by Justin Morrow. Medina at his favored left side top corner of the box. Wings one in, Maxi Morales tries to jump, and there's no way he's going to get ahead on that. Here is just looks like Justin Morrow is down on the field for Toronto FC. So now they're showing the replay of Gallardo, who was down. When Morales took the ball away from him, he kind of stepped on the top of his foot, and it seemed like he rolled his ankle a bit there. So hopefully it's nothing too serious for Gallardo. All right, Richie Larea is coming in for Gallardo. He came in last week at the half against San Jose and ended up scoring a goal. And wait a minute, Larea is sat back down, so that substitution did not happen. Gallardo stays in, Larea stays on the bench. Unfortunately, that just showed Greg Vanny's hand, because I'm pretty sure we're going to see Larea come in for Gallardo at some point here. Probably the 65th, maybe 70th minute. Callan's at the back. He's got the ball. He's now tracking back to Alexander Ring, who kind of stepped into his spot. Ring out to Sands. Sands up to Tinnerholm there, who's just straddling the line. He goes back into Keaton Parks. They've just been running the same play out of the back. Callens goes back to Ring. Ring goes over to Sands. Sands over to Tinnerholm. Tinnerholm back to the middle for Keaton Parks. And then TFC takes the ball away from him. So they've got to switch this up if they want to get anything going. Morales now with down the left-hand side. Goes off of Auro, who blocks it, then bounces back off of Morales' legs and out for a TFC goal kick.
Wow.
Sure can. All right, so now here's the move. Gallardo is now out, and Richie Larea is in. So the first sub of the day is used by Greg Vanny and Toronto FC to bring in Richie Larea, who last week, as I was starting to mention earlier until he sat back down on the bench, Richie Larea came in at halftime last week against San Jose and scored about 6 minutes off the bench. So He can be dangerous, especially when he's not in that right back role there where Auro usually is. So he is more of that midfield role coming in for Gallardo, not switching up the formation much. Your sleeve is getting in my TV. So here's TFC with a throw-in. Throws it up and cleared back out by New York City. Kind of a bit of a lull here for the last 5 minutes or so. Not a ton of action. TFC with the ball back in. Now Osorio passes out to Delgado, or Morrow. Morrow back here with the ball with his gloves on so you know it's cold. Kicks it over to Mavinga. Mavinga back to Gonzalez. And now TFC's starting to play a little bit around the back like New York City was. So here's Larrea's first touch of the game. A nice pass from Auro, then back to Auro. His pass gets deflected and goes right to the feet of Hebert, who turns and tries to make a bit of a run but doesn't get anywhere. Keaton Parks passes back to Callens. Callens over to Matarrita. Nothing really going on. A lot of back passing, kicking around the back lines, over to the goalkeepers, and just not a ton of action by either team right now. So a little bit of a lull. I expect things will probably pick up in the next 5 or so minutes. Or if somebody just gets an interception, creates a great chance and scores, then that usually opens things up as well, especially between two Eastern Conference teams. So Matrita gets the ball passed to him. He kicks the ball out of bounds, but they call a foul on Auro. But they call the throw. They actually give the throw there. So here's Parks, flips it up to Hebert, who has it, who flips it up to Medina. He's in the box, turns Gonzalez, and what a huge save by Quentin Westberg. Medina brings the ball back to his left foot. I don't know what Omar Gonzalez was thinking there. Medina is a left-footed guy. That is his spot. That is his shot. And Omar Gonzalez runs right by him like he thinks he's going to just continue to take it with his right. I knew he was going to go to his left foot. Everybody in the stadium did. It's a good thing Quentin Westberg did. So Larrea, down on the other side of the field, gets taken away by New York City. Alexander Ring bringing the ball out. And beautiful back run by Achara, who has not lost his legs at all. Love to see the young kid playing defense as well, and just fighting for that ball. Now New York City takes the ball away. Uncle plays possession or plays advantage. New York City with some good sustained pressure here. Keaton Parks passes out to Medina on his left foot, blasts it over to the center, crosses into the center at the top of the box for Matrita, and he blasts it about 30 yards over the bar. So a little bit better from New York City. We haven't seen much from them lately, and now they're here. So make sure you take your phone. All right. Showing the replay of the Medina chance, probably the best chance for New York City so far in this match. That definitely beats the Keaton Parks chance. Now, New York City with 70% possession here in this second half. The throw-in, nobody covering Alexander Ring, who lines one up, and it goes wide. If he put that on frame, it's 1-0 New York City FC. Quentin Westberg was caught standing on the left-hand side of his goal. And things have turned now. New York City is really looking good. So, New York City fans, be happy your team weathered the storm, and now they're doing much better. Here's Achara for TFC. Goes to make a couple moves, and Tinnerholm with some good defense stops him. Now he is with the ball running down that right flank. Now they go with the switch over to Matarrita. Callens over to Morales. Morales down to Matrita. Matrita with the back heel back to Morales. Tries to float into Hebert. Can't do that. It's headed away by TFC's defenders. Matarrita passes back to Keaton Parks with a big switch out to Tinnerholm. Tinnerholm passes into Medina. about 15 yards outside the 18. So they're starting to get some sustained pressure there outside the 18. Morales sends in a cross, cleared away by Omar Gonzalez for a New York City throw. Much better from New York City now. Actually getting some pressure on there. 60 minutes into the game. We're now in the 63rd minute. Intercepted by Achara, who's back playing defense. Held up by New York City, and Uncle waves it off. And here's an offside by Morales, and now that's waved off. So now the TFC players are wondering, it's switched a bit. In the first half, the New York City players were wondering why this ref wasn't calling anything, or why the offsides wasn't called, and now you've got the same for TFC. Westberg gets the ball back in play over to Omar Gonzalez. Gonzalez flips it over to, looks like Osorio. Osorio to Pozuelo. Pozuelo out to Achara. Achara kicks it back to the middle. And here comes a little overlap by Justin Morrow. And here's Pozuelo at the top corner, who goes in. Achara now with the ball. Goes back out to Morrow on the left. His cross is blocked by Tinnerholm. And out for a throw. TFC now with a little bit of pressure. Osorio goes back to the midfield. Richie Larea now on the switch for TFC. And he goes down with a beautiful pass to Marky Delgado, who turns it around, looking for some help. There's a couple guys in the box, but none of them are open. Delgado back and forth, right at the top right-hand corner of the box from the attacking perspective. And the ball's finally taken away by Maxi Morales. Alro goes in to get that ball out of there and just takes the legs right out of Morales. He goes down. Alro might end up in the book here, but he might not because it is probably like his first foul of the game. So now things are starting to get exciting here, ladies and gentlemen. This game's starting to open up a bit. We've had a substitution on for TFC. New York City has not used any of their subs, which is surprising, figuring Tigre's coming up on Wednesday. But both teams starting to get some action now in the attacking third. It was all TFC in the first half. They had a goal disallowed by VAR. Then they almost had a penalty shout, which went to VAR and then got reversed. Now here in the second half, New York City's turned things around. They had 70% of the possession in the second half, probably just till just recently. I think that number's dipped a little bit as TFC's had a little bit more of the ball, but New York City's finally had some sustained pressure at the Toronto half. So something we haven't seen up until that point. Speaking of which, looks like New York City's building it up a little bit more now. They've got Medina here taking a throw-in. Oh, and now he throws it down to Tinnerholm, who's ahead of him on the pitch. Tinnerholm has been extremely, extremely high tonight. Really surprised with how high this guy's been playing. So Medina gets the throw-in down almost by the touchline. And TFC knocks it out for another throw. So I'm waiting for Tinnerholm to go for probably a long throw. He's close to that range. And Maxi Morales in the box. Now cleared out by Marky Delgado of TFC. Pozuelo trying to get up there. He comes down with the ball. TFC on the counter. Pozuelo, he's got options everywhere. Through ball to Richie Larea. Is it 2 goals in 2 weeks for Richie? No. Good defense there by New York City, and Larea's pass goes back all the way back to Alro. Alro over to Osorio, back to Delgado, who gets pulled down, and a foul there by Maxi Morales. Surprising foul. That one might not have been called in every match, but Uncle has not had the best of days today. I think he's missed a few calls that on both sides, so at least it's been on both sides. But there's a foul there on Morales, setting up a really dangerous free kick spot for Alejandro Pozuelo, who's standing over the ball with Auro. So I guarantee you it's Pozuelo. He could shoot from here. It's about 23, 25 yards out. So definitely in Pozuelo's range. But with an athletic goalkeeper like Sean Johnson, he might be able to get a hand on it. So they're lining up to the side, setting up the wall now. taking their sweet, sweet time. You got the Ultras back there. And Pozuelo swings it into Altidore. And what a save! Holy goodness, what a save by Sean Johnson. And the rebound falls back to Altidore, who goes for the header. And it goes over the bar. Unbelievable save there. A great run by Josie Altidore. Gets his head on it. And just a wonderful save. Sean Johnson, again. We had a viewer watching earlier write a comment. Who do you think will be the man of the match? It is no doubt Sean Johnson. The man has been on fire. I think that's his 5th or 6th save of the night. 6th save of the night, as Yes puts it up in the graphics right now. Unbelievable. This game would probably be 4-0 TFC if it was not for Sean Johnson right now. All right, New York City gets a throw back off of probably about the halfway mark. Throwing in looks like it's Tinnerholm again. Tinnerholm still looking for somebody to throw the ball into, wasting a little bit of time. Throws it into Hebert, who comes up, and then back passes. He blasts it. No New York City players around. Auro heads it back to Westberg, who shoots quickly up the field to nobody, and Alex Ring with the header up. Auro with the ball now to Richie Larea. Larea looks like he's going to burn. Looks like there's a foul called and another yellow card coming here. And Uncle, he's reaching in the pocket, but the New York City, the Yes stream is not coming through great to be able to see which player he's giving it to. It was Morales. No, it was not Morales. It was Keaton Parks, who came in and just took out Marky Delgado. So that's twice now in a few minutes. Marky Delgado has been down on the ground. Keaton Parks with the yellow, so now you've got both of New York City's central defensive midfielder are sitting on yellow cards, as well as their center back Sands. Toronto FC needs to be able to capitalize on that. When you've got that many guys sitting on yellows, you better, in the spine of a team, you better take advantage. So here is Toronto FC with that free kick over to Richie Larea down the flank. Looks like Auro goes to make an overlapping run, but he goes back the other way to Delgado. Osorio to Larea in the box. Larea, and oh my God, Sands literally goes to clear the ball away, and the ball misses the net by probably 6 inches. I thought that was going to be an own goal. They're showing the replay on it now. Let's see if it's closer from the angle behind the net. And, yeah, no, I mean, probably maybe about 1.5 feet. So still pretty close. But if you ask Sands, I'm sure he'll tell you he did that on purpose. All right, TFC now with the ball. The corner kick amounted to nothing, got cleared away. Here is Pozuelo now for TFC. Back to Mavinga at the halfway mark. Flashes it over for Morrow, but Hebert is there to get a touch on it, and the ball goes out of bounds for a TFC throw. Looks like Victor Castellanos is standing up on the bench, as well as Tajuri Shradi. So I think we're going to see a couple substitutes here any second now. Tajuri Shradi, my assumption is he'll probably come in for Medina, and Castellanos for Hebert to try and give them a little bit of rest for Tigres. And bring in the fresh legs in this game to kind of break TFC down on the counter, because TFC's been starting to take over the play again since we were talking a little bit ago. So here's TFC now on the ball. Looks like it's Marky Delgado in the center of the field, lots of space. Kicks it over to the right flank for Larea. Kicks it back to Josie Altidore, who takes a header from just about the penalty spot. No trouble for Sean Johnson, who now makes his 7th save of the day, because I'm sure that will actually constitute as a save, since it would have been a shot on goal, but not a tough one. And that's a handball on New York City. From the goal kick, here's Mavinga getting ready to put it back in play. Doesn't do so. Now we're just waiting for the New York City players to get away, and they're letting in the subs. And Tajuri Shradi, the Yes players, the Yes board says Tajuri Shradi for Jesus Medina is the first sub, as Medina walks off slowly. New York City would love to get a point in Toronto, and not have to and going into, and then Castellanos in for Matrita. So that's an interesting sub as well. I thought they'd probably take Haber off, but it looks like they're probably going to go 2 at the top now for New York City and try and go for the win. Right? You're there. You've got the draw in the bag right now, unless TFC breaks them down. And why not go for the win? It's the beginning of the season. So Castellanos goes to kick the ball, gets deflected, but flies back out to Keaton Parks. Tinnerholm with a ball into the middle for Haber, tries to turn. Nothing there. A foul, actually, on Haber. All right, 73rd minute. Thanks for joining us here, Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast. I am Mike, one of the hosts of SOP Soccer. However, this is on my personal channel as we're going through a test stream with OBS since it's the first time we've ever done it. So next week we'll be on the Sons of a Pitch Soccer channel doing it. But here we are, 74th minute now, 0-0. New York City has to be happy. Toronto FC's got to be pissed off and going for that win at home. You don't want to tie your home opener. You want to get the 3 points, especially when you had 3 points almost in the bag in San Jose last week, and that got taken away. So here's a long ball out to Altidore, who's getting tugged on by the New York City defender, and Josie's getting pissed off and decides to go for a big slide tackle on the center defender, and he's going to better be careful. He's going to get pick up a yellow card and maybe even a red. Here is Achara. Back over to Pozuelo. Pozuelo kicks it over to Osorio. Back to Achara and out to the flank for Auro and Richie Larea. Larea with the ball now. Kicks it back into Pozuelo, who looks to create on his left foot into Josie Altidore. Tries to turn it around. Gets pulled down over to Osorio, and he puts it over the bar. Another good chance for TFC, and he puts a wide open shot from about 16 yards out over the bar. TFC has got to improve on their finishing if they want to contend in the Eastern Conference this year. Period. Definitely a missed opportunity there for TFC. The fans there in the South End are just going nuts and really bouncing there in the South End. So good on those supporters. Always a great atmosphere there at BMO Field. And in the meantime, New York City now with a run up the field. Morales with the ball, goes to pass it back to Parks, intercepted by Marky Delgado. Now you've got Richie Larea, gets knocked down by the New York City player, and that's a foul on Matarrita. All right, quick restart there from Delgado over to Osorio. Osorio over to Pozuelo, more towards the middle of the field. Can TFC break down New York City and take a 1-0 lead here in the 75th minute? Passes out. Justin Morrow with the big cross gets deflected by Tinnerholm and out for the TFC corner. So the pressure, I expect to see the pressure here really on TFC's side for probably the next 17 to 20 minutes. And we'll see if New York can counter on or hit them on the counter. That looks like that's probably all that's going to happen there from New York tonight, especially the way TFC is kind of really ruling the play for the last probably 10 to 15 minutes or so. All right, Matarrita with the ball goes out to Castellanos, who makes a nice run into the center of the park. His ball is deflected, and Westberg gets out to at least negate the corner, but puts it out of bounds. So for the throw and hustles back to his net to not get caught out of his net. Nice clearing header there by Chris Mavinga. Now Achara with the ball for TFC on the left-hand side of the field. Passes into Marky Delgado, who goes back to Jonathan Osorio. Osorio out to Auro and back to Omar Gonzalez at the center. Osorio with the ball now just in the middle of the park, trying to build something up, getting a few passes going. Here's Josie coming up to get into the action, and he flicks it back over to Chris Mavinga. Mavinga looking for a long switch over to Richie Larea, and it bounces over his head. How ironic. So here is Castellanos getting ready to take the throw. He drops it back to Matarrita for the throw. Ronnie Delia, he's kind of got a little bit of a dumbfounded look on his face. Just kind of a deer in the headlights type of look. Like, what exactly is going on here? I thought we were better than this. And here is Castellanos, and they call a foul on him, knocking down Auro. All right, we've got a Tomo Bazure. Show the TV, please. Unfortunately, sir, I did that on my my podcast channel, and they shut my stream down for 3 months. So this is a live commentary, as shown in the thumbnail, not the game itself. So if you're looking for the game itself in another stream, check another one out. I don't know how to do that and beat the system. So here is a throw for TFC down on the left-hand side. It looks like Josie's going to take it quickly. Goes back to Achara. Achara looking for somebody. Goes to Marky Delgado in the middle of the field. And Marky Delgado with some space, beating off Morales. Goes for the pass, and Castellanos comes back with a nice sliding tackle to win the ball. So nice to see Castellanos, who came in as a sub, got those fresh legs, and he's really playing defense as well. Achara guides the ball out very well for a TFC goal kick. And that's another thing, right? Look at Achara. He's doing extremely well, playing defense for a striker as well. So good stuff there. We've got another sub. Looks like New York City's going to use their last sub, and it is Maxi Morales out for Mackay Stevens. So more attacking options there for New York City. Taking out the magician Maxi Morales, my co-host Nick's pick for MLS MVP this year. Kind of an interesting pick, but I'm sure the New York City fans would be happy to hear that. So here we go, TFC with the ball. Back, the defenders playing a little bit of keep away at the back. Now up to Marky Delgado, who slides it out to Auro. Over to Richie Larea, and that pass is deflected out by Matarrita. So a little graphic here, something I didn't know about. Gary Mackay-Steven was actually coached by Ronnie Delia at his time at Celtic. So that's interesting. Now we've got New York City with a little bit of pressure there. They win a throw-in. We are almost at the 80-minute mark. 79-45. What is going to happen here? Is this one just going to be a 0-0 draw, or will TFC break through? Here's Achara in the middle of the field. Lots of room. Passes to Pozuelo. Pozuelo goes down. He's got Altidore, who lets it go to Larea, and a deflection, and Achara flies in from the back to get his head on it. TFC breaks through, and will this one get called back on offsides? Unbelievable turn of events here. TFC's been pressuring, but man, just an ugly goal. But Achara's pumped, man. This is technically his second goal of the game because he had that first one, but that one got called back on VAR. So they're showing the replay here. Achara with middle of the field, lots of space. This guy's been all over the field. Great pass to Pozuelo. Pozuelo into Altidore, gets a toe on it, but it goes to Larea. Larea crosses, deflected by Matarrita, and headed in by yours truly, Achara, the rookie. It's 1-0. They going to take a look at VAR? Are we going to look at VAR? Ted Uncle, he's talking to somebody. And it's the 81st minute. But the deflection by, it can't be offside because of the deflection by Matarrita. I think they might be, maybe the only discussion here would be, was the ball in the back of the net before Achara got his hand on it, and they call an own goal on Matarrita. But, okay, here it is. It's his first career MLS goal. Ifunyachi Achara. I'm never saying that name again. They said in the press release, just only call him Achara. That's what he goes by. That's what everybody calls him. So I'm going to do the same exact thing. So New York City now, they've got the fresh attackers on. They've got Ibarra in the game. They've got Castellanos in the game. They got Mackay Stevens in the game. The only real attacking piece they took out was Medina and Maxi Morales, but those are more midfielders for strikers. So this could be an interesting finish to the end of this game. 82nd minute, 82:07 actually, the 83rd minute now. TFC with a throw-in. Auro on the right-hand side. Here is Pozuelo. Pozuelo gets the ball intercepted by New York City. Now it's back to Pozuelo, and Ring gets a foot on it, but it falls out to Marky Delgado. Delgado over to Auro. And Richie Larea gets his pass intercepted by New York City, but TFC with the pressure still on. Mavinga now at the halfway line, shoots it up the field to Altidore, who's just getting manhandled by Sands right now. So good defense by Sands because he did not get called for the whistle. Here is Mavinga chasing back by Castellanos, and Westberg kicks the ball up the field to Richie Larea, goes out off of the New York City player. All right, so it should be an exciting finish in this one. Achara in the 81st minute for TFC gets the first goal of his MLS career. This kid had come in as a first-round draft pick in the MLS Super Draft, captained the Georgetown Hoyas to the NCAA championship, scores 3 goals in 3 games in the preseason. TFC reward him with a first-team contract, and what does he do in his first game? He scores a goal. Unbelievable. The kid knows how to get on the end of a ball and score. So Matarrita with a blast up the field, and Gonzalez comes up to knock it up the field. Just kind of back and forth right now. Nothing going on. It's all in the middle third. TFC, then New York. TFC, then New York. And Josie Altidore in, backing off Sands, and it looks like the offside flag went up, which I think was the right call. Yep, offside flag is up. 85th minute. Toronto FC 1-0 lead over New York City. And look at me, I didn't even change the score on my scoreboard because I was so excited that TFC scored that goal. All right, there we go. Now it's updated. As they show the replay here on Yes. All right. Keaton Parks with the ball. He kicks it out of bounds. Justin Morrow with the throw-in. Bella, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Really? Here's Richie Larea in an attacking place. It was his cross that set up Achara for that first goal, but taken away there by, looks like, I think it was Sands. And we've got a foul there on TFC. It'll be a free kick. Castellanos drawed the foul. All right, 86th minute. Really?
I'm going to fix my slime.
Kids. All right, Auro kicks it off of Mackay Stevens for another TFC throw. Kind of killing this game out a little bit. And a yellow card given to Auro for time wasting. So saw that one coming because he was taking his sweet old time. Here is Hebert, kind of in that like defensive role, which is maybe they're sliding him back a little bit with Castellanos into the game. But Quentin Westberg with the back pass now drills it up to midfield. Handball there by New York with no call. And here is Josie Altidore through on goal, and he blasts it over the bar. Josie having a rough start to 2020. Really good chance there for Josie Altidore to seal this game, and he just blasts it. So remember that one if New York City pulls a San Jose and ties this one up at the death. Would definitely fall right back on Josie Altidore for missing that great chance, sending it over the bar. Goal kick cleared up by Omar Gonzalez, and then it looks like, was that Castellanos? Just barrels over Richie Larea. Larea jumps back up, gets in his face, and we got a little bit of a kerfuffle going on here. Wonder if there'll be any yellow cards from that one. Mavinga comes up to get a word in the ear of Castellanos. Ted Uncle gives him a talking to, and Castellanos acts like my 10-year-old and doesn't listen to a damn word he said.
Really?
Really.
You're mean. I listen to you sometimes.
Sometimes. Keyword. All right, now, give the throw to New York City after some protests. Mackay Stevens kicks the ball out of bounds, and they protest for a throw and get it. Now, cleared back out by Omar Gonzalez on the throw-in. Matarrita with the ball, getting ready to throw this back in. 88th minute. 89th minute. Omar Gonzalez back to Westberg. Westberg kicks it upfield. Josie heads it down to an onrushing Pozuelo. Pozuelo tries to do some control in the middle of the field as Alexander Callens is pushed up over the halfway line. Now out to Larea down the right. He goes past and kicks it out of bounds, really close there to the end line. TFC holding on for dear life here at the end, although not many chances by New York at the moment. Just trying to see this game out. The long throw into the keeper. And Sean Johnson kicks it upfield, and Matarrita grabs the ball, and I guess they told him to take the throw from higher up. Ring shoots it upfield. Nobody from New York makes a run. Really got to ask some questions if you're Ronnie Delia. Some of these guys that they just brought in here. Castellanos comes in as a second-half sub. Mackay Stevens is a second-half sub. And they're not making a run on a ball over the top by Alexander Ring. Come on, guys. You've been in the game for 20 minutes. Your legs aren't tired. So here's Westberg now with the long kick. A couple New York City guys running for the ball. Alro passes it to Pozuelo. Pozuelo over the top to Richie Larea, who tries to go around Matarrita. And Larea comes in to get the ball, but it goes out for a goal kick. As they show Greg Vanny, the TFC coach, he's pissed that wasn't called a foul, so he got bowled over. New York trying to get the ball back to the center half there, and Callens throws it right into Larea and then asks for a yellow card. 3 minutes of stoppage time. So we had 6 in the first half because of all that VAR. Now we've got 3 here in the second half. Long ball cleared by Omar Gonzalez. Alexander Ring at the top of the circle passes it out to Castellanos. Castellanos cuts back inside, has his pass deflected by Richie Larea. He goes down, but a long ball up to Tinnerholm, who it's in for Mackay Stevens. He lofts it in the air and right into the arms of Quentin Westberg, who goes down to the ground softly to waste a few more seconds off of the clock. There's nothing that pisses me off more in soccer than time wasting at the end of the game. And even when it's my team, like I'm a diehard TFC fan, to see them waste time at the end of a game, I hate it. Get on with the game. All right, 91 minutes in the books. Here is Alro back to Omar Gonzalez. Gonzalez goes back to his keeper, Quentin Westberg. Westberg kicks it upfield. Looks like Tinnerholm gets in, heads the ball, and looks like Omar Gonzalez deals with it, clears it out to the center, and Jonathan Osorio kicks it up to Josie, who wipes it over to Achara, and Sands has to get in and knock the ball out for a TFC throw. Altidore wants the ball. The ball boy throws the ball in. The New York player goes with another ball into the field. And it looks like TFC putting on Patrick Mullins against his former team. Patrick Mullins, nothing but a little bit of time wasting here. Going by Vanny if he gets a chance to bring Mullins into the game. So here's Auro on the right-hand side. Kicks it up to Larea. Larea back to Auro. Auro into the middle. And Larea makes a run down the flank. As he take it to the corner, is he going to go in for a cross? He goes back to Pozuelo. Back to Josie, who shoots. Saved by Sean Johnson. I'll tell you, New York City, you got a hell of a keeper. Because this one would have been at least a minimum of 5-1. If it was anything for if Sean Johnson wasn't on this field. He has made some unbelievable saves. Pozuelo out to Altidore. He kicks it. Great save. That was sneaking in by the post. And what a save by Sean Johnson. He keeps playing like this. He might get some calls to the U.S. men's national team there for Zach Steffen. All right, Achara gets the nod, and he's walking off the field with the new FIFA rules, the closest to where he was, over by the supporters section, and he's getting the arms pumping, getting the crowd pumped up. Awesome, you gotta love seeing that. An MLS Super Draft kick as he's clapping off to the supporters as he goes by. 93-09. Probably give New York City another minute or so due to the substitution. Here's Tinnerholm on the right, blocked by Patrick Mullins. Here's Tinnerholm going back into the middle and tries a pass, which Omar Gonzalez gets. The clearance there is deflected. Castellanos puts a weak shot out. It goes out harmlessly for a goal kick, and that should do it, ladies and gentlemen. TFC should get this 3 points. You might see a final whistle here with this free kick. And there's the final whistle right there. They don't even wait for the kick from the goalie. It's 1-0 TFC. That is the final. Well done by Toronto FC. They deserve the full 3 points in this one. Achara, a young draft pick, first-round MLS draft pick, gets a goal in his MLS debut. And there's the handshake between Ronnie Delia and Greg Vanny. My thoughts in this one, really a deserved result for TFC. New York City was rough looking in the first half. Really didn't have much in the tank. Very surprised by the lineup Delia put out for this one. It was probably, a heavy lineup when you got Tigres on Wednesday night. So with that, we guys see the replays here. Man of the match. Who, yes, is going to put as their man of the match. I think it's Sean Johnson with all the saves that he made. And they're going to re-show the... man of the match is Ifuniachi Achara with the goal. And there they show the replay of that goal. So well done to Toronto FC here with the 3 points. Thank you for watching the Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast. Live commentary for Toronto FC against New York City FC. It is a 1-0 final. I'm trying to stop the clock and it won't stop. So, with that being said, make sure to subscribe to Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast channel, where we'll be doing the live stream going forward, because this is just a test, and a few things got tested out well. So, thanks again for joining us. New York City plays Tigres in Champions League on, I believe, Wednesday night. Toronto FC next week. I forget who they're playing. So hope you enjoyed listening to me chat about this game, and we will talk to you guys very, very soon.